A lot of people's first instinct with these wheels would have been, I need wheel acid.
An incredibly dirty vehicle, fingerprints, bug guts, all kinds of scratches and water spots. We don't know what's gonna happen when we wash it. So where do we start?
We start by saying, hi, I'm Ivan.
I'm Nick.
And this is DIY Detail. Today, we're gonna do a deep dive wash and decontamination on this vehicle because we don't know what the condition of it is under the dirt. As a professional detailer, if someone were to come to me to get an estimate on this vehicle, I would first tell them, I need to wash the car. I can't see the paint for everything that's hiding the paint. Now, we can tell there's etched bug guts, there's water spots, there's scratches. This is something that requires a body shop down here, so we're not gonna be fixing that. But the wheels are just covered in I don't know what. So we know there's brake dust, but there's other things going on with the wheels. It looks like someone tried to clean them and didn't really work out.
So there's a lot of things that may be a little different for you, where you are, with the vehicle you're washing. But the whole theme here is big question marks.
Right.
Not quite sure the history, not sure how it's been maintained. Where do we start?
Right. We start by washing it. As simple as that. And a lot of people overthink this. They would see a car like this and it's like, oh God, what do I need to do? And post a million questions on Facebook and how do I attack? Just start by washing it. And the first step of washing it is the foam cannon, get it on there. But we know these wheels need a little bit of help. So let's help them along with some iron remover and some all clean. But starting with the iron remover. With the iron remover, when we spray this on here, I think we might get a relatively quick reaction on this. Just from looking at these wheels. That didn't take too long. Yeah.
So I'll follow along with All Clean in our RK foamer. We like All Clean foamed. It also comes in a 16-ounce ready-to-use bottle. Both work well. I prefer it in the foam. Suspension, dwell time. We have just a 15-to-1 dilution here, so it's the exact same as the bottle, but you're gonna see what it looks like out of a foamer like this.
Get inside the barrels, Nick.
All Clean is really great on grease. It's really great on the stuff that, I don't know, I feel like is on the lower sections of the car. Why use iron remover and then All Clean?
We normally would not need the iron remover on wheels like this, but these are very, very dirty. So the iron remover is just attacking the iron. The All Clean is allowing it to dwell longer. The little bit of incredible suds in the mixture is helping it to dwell, and they're all combining together to really deep clean this wheel.
And it's visually pretty fun to look at too.
Oh yeah, it looks great.
Are you ready for a DIY Detail secret revealed? To make our All Clean foam like this, we put just a capful of incredible suds in there. So you want a gallon of solution total. Why do we mix that up, Ivan? We have water, All Clean, and incredible suds. What's the ratio to create this magic secret formula?
120 ounces of water, 8 ounces of All Clean. That gives you the 128 ounces of your gallon, and then just a cap full of incredible suds. Don't overdo it with the incredible suds. You don't need that much. And with any type of foamer, one of the most important things is actually having enough pressure in the foamer. It requires a lot of air pressure. Now, Nick's got these wheels looking actually really good. If you can look through the foam that's coming off of these, the wheels underneath look clean.
I love the creamsicle look. I love the idea of it cleaning for us without even touching it.
Yeah.
We're going to agitate, of course, but I love seeing the cleaning happening. I'm a cleaner, Ivan, that's what we do.
Right. And speaking of clean, the TT is one of those love it or hate it vehicles. The Bauhaus design really sets it apart. And a lot of people think this was a hairdresser special. Other people, it's a wonderful sports car. So what camp are you in? Nick, what are you doing?
That wasn't enough suds, Ivan. We're gonna need a little more glug action.
Okay.
Totally unnecessary, but also totally fun.
Time to rinse I just want to get one last look at these wheels, give you guys one last look at these wheels. This is actually really pretty. It's that purple, that white coming out of these wheels. And watch what happens when we throw the pressure washer at them. They're far from clean, but they look a lot better. A lot of people's first instinct with these wheels would have been, I need wheel acid. You really don't. Now, I just noticed I've got my 15-degree tip, which is the one we normally use in here, but I have a cloth soft top. That means I'm not going to use the 15-degree tip. Nick, if I could have the 40-degree tip, please. On a convertible top, your garden hose is actually a very good way of rinsing it, but with a 40-degree tip, it fans it out enough, and as long as I'm not like this on the top, I'm not going to damage it. So Nick, just from that first foaming and rinsing, paint's looking a lot cleaner than it was.
It's looking a lot cleaner, but we teach a simple system.
Right.
It involves a foam, a rinse, and then a foam again, or a chemical and a rinse and a chemical. So if you wanted to take this approach and do it with rinseless wash, you can just substitute it for Incredible Suds. You wouldn't even need to foam the rinseless wash on. You could just apply it with a garden sprayer. The whole idea is to get the surface covered in the chemical, rinse it off. After it's broken down a lot of that traffic film and grit, then the grit's removed in the first rinse. We're applying the foam again, there's a chemical, and this is going to give us lubrication for the contact wash. I'm doing a lot of talking. The audience wants to see a lot of foaming. See, Ivan, more foam equals more fun.
There is a lot of foam here, and there's just a little bit left, so I'm going to use that for my bucket.
Ivan, I couldn't resist while the foam was thick on the surface. I wanted to get to work. You've got your idea of what you're going to do. I see foam, and I need to clean.
Right, I'm actually going to leave the foam that's there and add a little more all clean to these wheels, let it dwell just a little bit longer.
Okay. Now, would you have normally started with the wheels? I know I jumped the gun. I just saw the foam and I couldn't resist.
Yeah, normally, but these wheels, they need a bit of special attention here. So
some things get missed a lot in detailing. A lot of folks never clean the interior of their wiper blade.
Right.
Just their wiper blade. So I'm just doing that right now, making sure that's nice and clean as well. Is that an under or overrated thing to do, Ivan?
Something that should be done on a regular basis. If your wipers aren't working the way you feel they should, try cleaning them.
So the philosophy of cleaning your wheels first, again, I usually do that, and I jump the gun. What should one clean first?
Really doesn't matter. In this case, we're doing the wheels last to give them a little more dwell time. Chemicals work best when you allow them to do the job they're designed for.
You're using a brush, I'm using the Incredible Wash Mitt. Talk about the difference in the two and why you'd use one or the other.
Your choice, really. There's no advantage or disadvantage other than the brush. You know, I'm able to get into areas underneath things and reach the bottom of the vehicle a lot easier than you can.
I could see like an infomercial. Do you like cleaning your car way faster? Then grab a brush, because I find the brush is such a fast way to wash.
Yeah.
You get onto roofs and big trucks, the hood, I mean places that are hard to reach, lowers. It just makes cleaning your vehicle a breeze. But I also love all the strands of the Incredible Wash Mitt. It's a very satisfying way to wash my car. I feel more intimately connected to the detail when I'm closer, you know, my hand is so close to the paint and I can just kind of, again, there's just something to be said about fun when it comes to a foam can. Because if this were all about speed and efficiency, I dare say you would probably reach for the rinseless wash, Ivan.
100%.
Yeah, exactly. But we do have a lot of people who love foaming their car. So again, you know what it is, it's fun.
Yeah, and it's not all about speed and efficiency in detailing. If you're a business, of course it is. But if you're a hobbyist at home, it could be all about that foam. And speaking of all about that foam, Nick, I think a little pass of squeegee would be appropriate here.
Okay.
Nick may have gone a little bit overboard in the mixing of the foam. Our drain is going to be fighting to catch up for the next 3 days, but.
Time to clean wheels, Ivan.
Time to clean the wheels. Let's try to get in there as well as we can. So these wide chrome lips, using the wheel and body brush, get in there. You can almost use the wheel and body brush inside the spokes, inside the barrel, but they're a nice open 5-spoke design. That's always fun. They're a little dirty on the inside. Brush comes out, perfectly clean.
The fascinating thing about barrels is most people will never see them, and yet we clean them. And I guess the question is, why?
It's another part of the car we can keep clean, and even though most people don't know the barrels of the wheels even exist, people that have only driven through a car wash their whole lives, their barrels have never been cleaned. But as detailers, we see these little details. That's why we're detailers.
Take a look at how dark this brush is. It's cleaned the barrels. I just did one side, then went to the other side, and now it's fully doused in that dark color. And just like that, it comes out clean. So I believe I've rinseless washed. Can't remember if it's rinseless or incredible suds. We've done a lot of videos today. It doesn't really matter. We're gonna be rinsing again. As long as I have a cleaning solution in my wheel bucket, that's all we really need.
As I'm doing the barrels of these wheels, I'm reminded why we do the faces first. You can see how dark the brush comes out in a second. That, if we were to bring it out to the face and then scrub the face of the wheel, we're scrubbing that into the face of the wheel. We have a nice clean wheel face to begin with. We'll brush that nasty barrel, and then when we rinse it, everything goes away. We're not scrubbing that dirt into the face of the wheel. And when I say a dirty barrel, I mean a dirty barrel. People see our barrel brush and say, yeah, but that's an antique. It's not an antique, but it's tried, proven technology that just works really well.
You know, this barrel brush, Ivan, when it's dry, seems a little scary, I think, to people who are used to different brushes on the market. When it gets wet, it just does a really nice job. It's a nice combination of aggressive enough to clean, but soft enough to be safe. It's all about technique, of course, but it's an effective and safe brush.
100%. If you look at the water that's coming out from the vehicle here, it's just cruddy with dirt. But the vehicle is actually starting to look a little cleaner here.
The question folks may have is, are we done?
No, sir, we're not. We still have the decontamination step. We've washed. And if this were just a wash, we would rinse it and dry it. But we want to decontaminate. We want to make sure that we're getting rid of the minerals that we could see in the water spots before. And in order to do that, we're going to do a decontamination step. Now, the soap is dried on the surface for the most part because we took a little longer doing the wheels. We're just going to add a little more to the surface.
You can do it this way. Do you have another technique, Ivan?
Well, I'm going to use the brush, but you could also use the foam cannon. But we emptied the foam cannon. We're not going to mix it up again.
So just take your wash media, put it in your bucket, and then let her go. Oh, you're just washing again. You're just going for, okay, that makes sense. That's probably the most efficient way to get it on the surface, right?
Yeah. And with the brush covering this surface is very fast.
I'm using one spray of our iron remover, one spray on our perforated quad fold decontamination towel. Where I spray the iron remover is where I deposit the towel. Again, one on the towel, one on the paint. I'm gonna work one panel at a time until I don't feel or hear anything scratchy under the surface. I'm leveraging the quad fold towel by folding it so effortlessly into one side. And then after I'm done with that one side, I'll use another side on another panel. Ivan, what did I miss?
There's a bit of contamination here for sure.
Don't forget the windshield, don't forget the windows. Obviously that bug gut littered front end is going to need some decontamination, or did it all come off in the foam rinse foam?
A lot of it came off in the foam rinse foam. The rest came off with the wash, but the contamination doesn't come off just by washing.
Talk about that.
So contamination, another term for it is embedded contamination, and that describes it better. It's actually embedded into the clear coat. It's not coming off just by washing. Now, by washing on a regular basis, you're not going to get the contamination embedding itself that quickly on the surface, but it still will eventually build up. And that's what we're doing here. We're removing a buildup of contamination. I've used 2 sides of my towel, unfold it, go to the other 2 sides, and keep working. 1 spray in the towel, 1 in the panel, and decontaminate.
Question a lot of people may wonder is, how hard should I push down on the towel to make sure I'm effectively decontaminating?
The pressure should equal 0.
What if they feel like it's a big decon job and they have a lot of contaminants they need to shave off the surface?
Right, that is where the detailer's secret weapon comes in.
It's patience. Do a small section, allow the chemical to work for you, and then come back and do it a second time instead of just sitting there and going over and over and over with it. Before we go on to rinsing the vehicle, when you're done with your brush, get as much of the liquid out as you can. Shorten the handle, rinse it out, and don't put it face down anywhere. Put it face up. Maybe if you have a hook on the wall, put it on the hook on the wall so that it stays nice and clean. With a convertible top, you want to use a wider fan like the 40 degree that we have here. Make sure your pressure washer is below 1,000 PSI, and at the same time, keep rinsing until you don't see suds anymore. The suds are what can eventually damage the vehicle. Incredible Suds rinses away very quickly, as you could see, but some soaps take a lot of rinsing to get them clean. If you have one of those soaps, keep rinsing until you don't see suds anymore. Next step, water spot remover. We observed underneath the dust and the dirt that there were water spots. So we definitely do need water spot remover here. But this is also a mineral cleanse. Removing the minerals from the surface will allow the paint to come back to its own, back to its natural state. And you can see, as soon as the water spot remover touches the surface, it starts working. It starts digging and eating those minerals and taking them off the surface. That's what we want. Of course, you want to do the windows as well, but in this case, staying away from the fabric top. Here's a towel for you, Nick.
Not just any towel, Ivan.
A dampened towel. In this case, it's a Incredible Suds dampened towel, but it really doesn't matter whether it's rinseless or Incredible Suds, as long as you have a bit of lubrication and you want to make sure your towel is damp, not wet.
What if it was just damp with water? Would that be okay?
You want the surfactants and the lubrication that comes with Incredible Suds or rinseless wash.
I just flipped my towel, Ivan. I know better. I've only done this about 8,000 times.
Yeah.
Why should I not flip my towel in this
Because we're
case?
distributing the water spot remover on the surface. We're not trying to take it off the surface.
There is no hydrophobics or water beading to observe on this paint. It feels like it's just kind of pooling, at least on the hood.
There was areas where there was a little bit.
Yeah, I noticed it a little bit in other areas, but the hood is just flat.
Yeah,
What does that tell you?
Lots of minerals.
So why not use water spot remover on the cloth top, Ivan?
it's lactic acid. We don't want to damage the fabric, just like we don't put this towel in with the laundry without rinsing it with clear water first. But we do want to do the glass. Some people might be enticed to just spray the water spot remover on the surface, let it sit, rinse it off. That can work, but you're doing like 40% of the job. This little 5 minutes of agitation makes a big, big difference, and you're using less product. When you're done with your towel, rinse it out with clean water, then you can launder it with the other ones.
One thing I like to do on wheels, Ivan, and you know me, I'm gonna use a little bit too much, but I like to put quick beads on clean, wet wheels. It's our water activated ceramic. What it's gonna do is make it so much easier for these to get cleaned up later.
Right. And they'll make it much easier for us to dry. Now for the reveal, to see what we had under all that dirt.
This was a mystery wash, Ivan, and boy, the mystery is about to get solved, or at least clues shall emerge. What are you feeling? What are you seeing? I know it's a little early yet.
I'm seeing black paint that's a lot better than it was, but still needs a lot of love.
I still see what looks like water spots, and I'm starting to see some real deep gouging in this hood.
Right, that's water spot etching. We've gotten rid of the water spots, or the minerals that cause the water spots. Now it's the etching left behind from leaving those water spots on the surface way too long in the sun.
Ivan, what are you drying with?
A drying blanket.
What's the drying blanket? That sounds fancy and possibly effective and, dare I say, safe on car paint?
Very safe. It's a micro twist loop, extremely absorbent. One of these towels will hold about a gallon of water, and they're very, very thirsty. Let's take a look at this soft top here. We've dried 2 cars with this already today. With a convertible, we'll just pat it in a little bit. You can see almost dry and still very wet. And the micro twist loop doesn't get caught on emblems. It's very, very small, very, very tight, very dense. Remember one of the viewers on the comments on YouTube, and by the way, please subscribe. We answer every one of the comments on YouTube and any other social media you're with. And we have a great Facebook group as well, but someone called this elephant skin.
Kind of looks like it, huh?
Yeah.
A fabric top can take a while to dry.
Right, take it for a drive. Easiest way of drying it. Now,
Oh, this looks gross now that we can see it.
yeah,
No offense to the owner.
yeah, no, the hood, well, the rest of the paint too, needs a lot of help, but that help will come in a future video. In the meantime, here's another car that really, really needed some help.